Talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache Talk.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Announcing the Cache Odyssey Geocoin, a tribute to exploration, accessibility, and the journey we share as a global geocaching community. Each coin represents your support and participation in the Cache Odyssey project and Geo Tours, a nationwide effort to create handicap-accessible geocaches and ensure that everyone can experience the joy of the hunt. With stunning artwork, the Cache Odyssey Geocoin captures both the spirit of geocaching and the heart of the Geocache Talk network. Whether you're adding it to your personal collection or gifting it to a fellow geocacher, this coin is more than just metal. It's a symbol of unity, inclusion, and adventure. And at just $20 each, it's an affordable way to both celebrate your passion and support the future of accessible caching. Don't wait. Supplies are limited. Grab yours today in the Geocache Talk shop and carry a piece of the Cache Odyssey with you wherever your adventures take you.
Hey, everyone. Big thanks to our new patrons, returning patrons, JR and Juju. Got to spend some time with Randy, so that was wonderful. Talk about that in a moment. Birkenstock Report and Trail Snail 51. And our featured patrons come from these states that start with U and V. Ryan, Susan, Sharon, Anthony, Philip, Gianna, Rhonda, Lori, Brett, Nick, Rochelle, Jason, Christopher. Thank you for all our patrons for keeping this show and all our shows on the air. And yes, I'm kind of out of breath. I'm just got back to the hotel and I'm back online doing the show from another location. And let me bring in one of my co-hosts tonight. I think it's just the two of us tonight, John. Just the two of us, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Gary. How are you doing, man?
I'm well. We'll talk about this. Where's Gary? Yeah. Hashtag where's Gary? We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Pizza Ninja, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, great to see you. And man, missing Jesse. I know I saw in the chat room, he says, good evening from somewhere in Florida. They're on their way home from South Carolina. So hopefully he has a good, safe drive home and isn't like tied up in that crazy storm that's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh.
Got to go to CoinFest, and we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. Had a great time. It was wonderful. Got to see so many people. It was just a wonderful time. And we got to sell quite a few coins for Geocache Talk, so we're excited to been able to connect with so many people. Thank you to all our patrons that were at the event. I missed some of them. I'm very sorry. We just didn't cross paths, but I was able to see so many up. Soccer Kicks was there. They're on their way home from CoinFest. Got to see them, and that was good. They were. I want to give a shout out to them because people don't realize that to get a mega done, you need volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely,
toward the end of the event, I saw them out there putting tables down, putting chairs away. I mean, they were working hard to get all that put back, and so, shout out to them for volunteering and giving up their time to help with getting everything, buttoned up and put back away. So it was good. Yes, I'm lagging a bit. Yes, I know. We're going to make it work. May have to go to just audio. We'll see. But John and I are going to make it work. One way or the other.
Absolutely, Gary. We're going to make it work for sure, man.
Yeah. So I'll give a couple of my reports, and then we'll get into the notes. And if I need to, I'll go just straight to audio only. But a couple things. One is that I was able to pick up another Cache Odyssey.
Ooh, awesome, man. That is so cool.
So that was good. Picked up Cache Odyssey, New Mexico. Yeah, so I got to hang out with Randy, who's the cache owner, and got to or he took me to his cache that is one of the geocaches of the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Wouldn't that be cool to have that as a note on your cache? It's like, this is geocaching.
That's like a lifetime achievement type of thing right there.
Geocache of the week. So very cool. I know. It really is. So it was really cool. I sent you some photos. I think of it. It's the alien letterbox.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I won't spoil it for people, but it was really great. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we're highlighting some questions that folks have, and we'll get to them because Burnt Turtles has a really good question, and I do great. But we'll talk about your question in a minute. But so CoinFest went fabulous. We got to hang out with Chris Mackey a little bit, and I do have to give a shout out to Dawn, Lost and Found 28, because she is production manager, and she's been designing coins, and one of her idols, of course, is the one and only Chris Mackey. I mean, if you're talking coins, the grandfather or the godfather, let's say it that way, the godfather of geocoins, not mountain bike. He was the originator of the geocoin, but the godfather of geocoins is Chris Mackey. I mean, you want a Chris Mackey coin made, and so it was pretty funny. Don, I was talking to some of our patrons. Shout out to Team Conway, and it was great to see so many great patrons there. But she came over. She goes, "Hey, look, who's over there?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Chris." And he's like, She goes, "That's Chris Mackey." I gotta go talk. I was like, "Go talk to him. Go. He's a regular guy. Just go talk to him."
Chris is just so cool. So cool.
But she went over there, and I went over there too. I went over and said, "Hey, Chris, here's Dawn. Dawn's doing our productions, and so we want to show you some of the coins she's made." And it was just so funny. She's like, "Yeah, these are the coins we've done recently." And he looked at him. He goes, "These are really good. These are really, really good coins." I mean, he looked at the Cache Odyssey, and he's like, "That's really awesome. That's a really good, unique thing." And we showed him the Podcast of Hope coins, because those are, stunning. They're just
absolutely, yeah, those are incredible.
So
Dawn did amazing.
She did amazing. And so what the funny part about that is that I need to go back and do some other things, but the two of them connected, and I could see in her eyes that she was like so happy that Chris Mackey was looking at her coins and talking about them. And so it was just neat to watch the interaction. But Chris, yeah, he's such a great guy. And he goes, "Hey, I've got, I'll put together a package of things to give away for Podcast of Hope." I was like, "Oh man, that's so awesome." So many people have stepped up already. And we ran into some people here at Castle Rock for CoinFest that they gave us stuff and said, "Here, can you use these in either an auction or a giveaway?" And so that was incredible to do that. So shout out to all the vendors here that gave us giveaway stuff. So CoinFest was amazing. Got to hang out with old Semmel last night. You saw the photo, and I appreciate you making a meme out of it, John. That was
great. Gary, how could I not make a meme out of that? That was just so meme worthy. Just saying.
Yes, yeah. Chris Mackey, me, and Bucky. Oh, sorry, Ryan Semmel, dressed as Bucky, was genius. So that was at GeoPoker last night, and
I should see if I can upload that for everybody. I think everybody would benefit from seeing that picture, Gary, that you took
Absolutely.
I think I have it right here, in fact, on this one.
There it is. Yep. No, I have to give credit also again to Dawn. She was there at Geoporker with us as well, and she goes, best photos, because she took the photo. So that was great. Love the meme. So just it's disturbing seeing. So Ryan snuck up on us and gave us a big hug. I was like, what is going on? What is this? And it's like, oh, it's Ryan dressed up like Bucky. And the whole thing was amazing. What's a beaver and a gas station have in common? They both love the logs. So
yeah. That was awesome. I wish I was there for that. That would have like made the event right there for me, to be honest.
It was fabulous. And got some coins. We did some adventure labs, and I guess this is something they do every year at CoinFest. You do a series of adventure labs, and then you show them you completed them, sort of like we do with Puzzle Academy, kind of where you do the Puzzle Academy, and then you show them that you completed it, and then you get a coin. So that was a lot of fun. We did part of our group. So I'm with a group of cachers here this weekend from Arkansas, and a couple of them walked out to Paul Barclay stash.
Oh, wow.
That, my friend, is a hike.
It used to be a hike, though, right?
No, you used to be able to drive almost to it, which I did it 10 years ago.
Yeah,
but
so you did it when it was a park and grab, Gary, is what you're saying. You did it.
Wasn't quite a park and grab, John, but
okay.
Yeah, so Bobby and Dawn, the buddies of us who were with us, from Arkansas, they walked that whole. So you have to park at a parking spot, and then you walk it, and it's like 3 miles up. It's 3 miles straight up.
Wow.
Or it's 3 miles round trip. So 1.5 miles straight up, and then you have to come back, obviously. But that 1.5 miles straight up is brutal. And and we had no signal. So we just kind of waved goodbye to them. I made the joke. I took a photo of them before they started. I can need one more photo of y'all while you're still alive. Wow. Yeah, that was bad joke, I guess. But they took off and started the walk. And part of our group that didn't go, that our knees are not going to hold up for that. They got back in the car and we napped, or I had a game to play. I have a game that's offline. So I played that for a while, and then I walked one of the trails nearby, and then I'd kind of sit and just sort of watch. This parking lot was constantly, I had fun watching these cars try to park, because this tiny parking lot was full the whole time. Wow. And friends of ours, Z-Man, Fred from Arkansas, I walked over, talked to him. I said, there's one thing we did really, really right, and that was we haven't moved our cars, because you move a car, you ain't getting back to that spot. There's no way. So, we stood there for quite a while, a couple hours or so, and they walked part of it. Sheila Reese and Fred walked part of the trail, and then they came back, and I was like, have you heard anything from our group? And they're like, no. And they said, no, we heard that they got to the top and got Paul Barclay, and that they were started back. I was like, started back? Oh, I get you the GC burnt turtles. Yeah. And I was like, started back, but what time did they start back? I mean, how long, so, and then finally they started the process back, and it took it's a long
I was gonna say, that sounds like one where you really earn the smiley on that one.
GC 67 Paul Barclay stat. Yeah, you do. There's Tom. Yeah. Tom could probably tell you his stories about that thing too, but it doesn't sound on paper like, it's like, oh, 3 miles round trip. No big deal. Yeah, so they had a good time, and they caches along the way. So
Nice.
Don and Bobby's GC is Ubu. They had a blast, but it's daunting. I mean, it's a hike, and you're up at 7,000 feet. So before you even start, you're already up
Yeah, I was going to say at that
over a
high
mile
elevation,
high.
like,
And if you're not
man,
used to and this is something Bert Turtles asked earlier about,
yeah,
yeah, elevation. Yeah. So like elevation, just sitting here, I'm in the hotel in Colorado Springs. I'm over a mile high right now. I'm at 6,050 feet elevation.
wow, crazy.
So, you're a mile high for quite a while out here. That's why I know that they like when the teams try to play the Denver Nuggets, they try to get to town a day early just to acclimate.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, Gary, is this the highest you've ever been for an episode?
it is. Well, I think it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My highest find could have been today. I'm not quite sure. So yeah, Pikes Peak. She wants to rub it in. Sometimes your friends are I wouldn't say worst enemies, but she wants to talk about this. So I'll talk about it. We went to Pikes Peak today, which you're up 14,000 feet. Now that is a little bit of an elevation change.
Little bit?
A little bit. So you're trying to I sent you a picture of our oxygen. So you have to have a little oxygen with you. But the thing that I think she wants me to talk about, which is that as we drove up to Pikes Peak, and she drove, it's her vehicle. I just was along for the ride. I am not good at being the passenger. I can do it. I can drive it because you're really focused on the wheel. But if somebody else is at the wheel and you're looking out the window and there's no ground below you that you can see, all you see is vast open space of thousands of feet of a drop.
Well,
I'm not really good at those.
Gary, you don't have to stick your head out the window like a dog going up Pikes Peak. Just saying, my friend. You don't have to do that. That's optional.
Have to do that. Yeah. So it is. Yeah, Quincy's right. There I am at the top, 14,000 something around.
I was going to say, is that a benchmark on the rock too?
It was cold up at the top.
Yeah, is it a benchmark by that rock here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, there is benchmark, and right behind me, first stage of multicache right there.
Wow.
We did a bunch of caches up there, and then we did some virtuals, and yeah, we had a blast. And so, yes, I'm not great at heights. Yes, I did close my eyes a few times, and I just looked over at Donna. I'm closing my eyes right now. Just focus on the road for me because I can't see anything right now. Like, I got it. No panic needed. But we got that. So anyway, I guess that's my twig. And then
awesome.
I want to mention about coins in a minute, but let's do your twig, John. What all did you do this week?
Oh man, Gary, I got so much geocaching goodness. Okay.
Good.
Number one, and let me see if I can put this so it can actually be seen on here.
Yeah.
I got a greetings from Georgia. So for our audio listeners, what I'm showing in front of the camera is a 2025 World Postcard Day greetings from Georgia on here. And
that's awesome.
And this is awesome. And I just want to point out, big shout out to Poan and everybody on here. But the big comment I want to read is my favorite memory of New York was the pickle pizza from Poan on that one. So big shout out to Poan. I mean, number one for her, La Favorite Casher, Angel Fire, J Mountaineer, Geo Stitch 10, B Batch 6, 12 Step. I mean, so many people signed this postcard that it was just so cool to get on that one. But yeah, that was awesome, Poan. When you came to New York for Cache Odyssey New York and we enjoyed that pickle pizza, that was like a highlight of my time too. So that was so awesome to get that. But one of the things I want to share too is International Earth Cache Day. And I saw in here like a number of people to give shout outs to on this one because B Genius says everybody got their Earth Cache ? She got hers published just in time. So she loves seeing all the logs coming in. So Nicole, B Genius, you are a genius for getting an Earth Cache out right before International Earth Cache Day.
Perfect.
Because way to help out the community on that one. I know mine that I got published like just 2 weeks ago got a ton of people visiting it, got a lot of favorite points from that one. So that was awesome. Just to see from there. And I got to give a big shout out to Matt Dreyer on here. So Matt got 6 Earth Caches yesterday to get the souvenir and a big on that one and to complete the fossil treasures collection. We all know we love treasures. So big shout out to Matt for getting all those Earth Caches and those fossils. That was awesome on that one. And one comment I got to put in here too from Gary on here. Yeah, and I can't remember how to pronounce that, but he said he got his Butterfly of Hope coin this week in the mail. So thank you, Gary, for helping to support Podcast of Hope, because those coins are exclusive, limited edition for folks that benefit the Podcast of Hope and St. Jude 100% on that one. So thank you for your support on that one, sir. Really appreciate it on that one. But one thing I got to tell people, how we did last week's show on hiding, right? So we did last week's show on hiding. So the funny thing was on Wednesday, I was down in beautiful Warren, Pennsylvania for a trails meeting. And after I get out of the meeting, I go to eat, pop open Cashly. Gotta love Cashly, right? Because Cashly, it shows at FTF. FTF, man. So I basically like I get out, get gas, like travel quickly down to ground zero where this FTF is. See 2 other cachers I've never met before, and I'm like, hey, are you guys geocaching? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, you mind if we look for it together? So long story short, had an awesome time with 2 cachers finding this guy's first cache that he's ever hidden before, which was just a solid cache on that one, and such a fun time. We actually went to find another cache too, but it was just so cool because for him, hiding 2 caches, and both great caches too, well-themed containers, great names for hides. The funny thing was, like, I was there about to give a favorite point, and I ran out of favorite points, so I couldn't give the guy a favorite point on his first hide. So that was a little bit of a bummer. So I'm like, okay, when I get more favorite points, I'm definitely gonna go back and give that one a hide, because to me, that really exemplified so many great things about hiding a cache, and somebody who was a cacher for so many years finally getting it out and do that. And oh man, and shout out to Memphis number Twig part 2 got an FTF this weekend also.
Nice.
Yeah, go Jesse. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. So yeah, so for me, all around, great caching week, man. With the postcard with International Day and getting an FTF with some new geocaching friends, Can't beat that. Excellent. Man.
Nope. Yeah, she Dawn's gonna make quick notes. Make sure and let them know we found a bunch. We have Colorado. You want Earth caches? You can come to Colorado. There are a lot of Earth caches. Jesse will tell you about that. My highest, it'll be different now, but I have to double check. But one of my highest finds was one of Jesse's Earth caches. So it's kind of funny that we talked about that. So.
Yeah, well, I found one of these Earth caches too.
Part of a. Yep.
Oh man, and shout out to Tom. Tom said he got 2 FTFs today too, and one of those was a challenge cache. So,
yeah,
man,
I have. Burnt Turtles asked about the fossil collection. I've completed it. Here's the last funny thing, and we'll get on. We gotta get the show going, or the topic going. Sorry, show's been going now for 30 minutes or 24 minutes. Anyway. One quick note. I ran into a bunch of lackeys. If you know what a lackey is, that's a person who works at Geocaching HQ.
Yeah, they're like Santa Claus in a way, right?
They are.
Yeah.
Ran into Justin, and he told me that I was talking to him about stuff. I'll give you a quick shout out, show you a picture of me and Justin. So So I joked with him about the fact that here's Justin. Yeah, there he is. Me and Justin. He works at HQ, and so I asked him. I said, I love the treasures now, but when we first started, I was a little bit skeptical. He goes, "Yeah, I understand, but a lot of people come around and about treasures." And so one of the things that I asked him about was, I really want a ketchup packet added.
Oh, geez, Gary.
And he goes, I think I can talk to the right person for that. So if we can get a ketchup packet as a future treasure, what do you think?
Okay. My opinion on this one is if it's like a fast food themed ketchup package and your face is on there in like a Colonel Sanders-esque way, that would be amazing. That would be
Okay.
amazing. That would be like the coolest treasure ever. Just saying.
That's great. Yeah, I know. So I'm going to work on that. I got to talk to Sean Boots. So we'll try to get that working. So, yeah. Thanks, Matthew. So we're gonna get he's on. Bell moves on Team Catch Up. So,
Oh man, okay. Okay.
It would be fun, and it's all in good fun. So, all right, let's talk about something interesting. Archive hunting.
Love this.
Do I need to switch to? Do you think I need to switch over to just audio?
Yeah, how about we switch over to audio for just a little bit, Gary? You kind of have like a Max Headroom thing going on, if you remember Max Headroom.
I know. Oh, I love Max Headroom.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, let's see if we can do audio, and just as Gary's doing that, everybody, we're gonna see if he can do that. And if Gary happens to accidentally drop, this is going to be a full-fledged Pizza Talk episode going on. So, oh man, I think Gary did drop. So welcome guys to Pizza Talk. This is the show on the Geocache Talk network, all about pizza on here. So if you want to put your pizza themed questions or achievements in the chat room, that would be greatly appreciated, because we know geocaching and pizza just go together so well. It's kind of like, like tomato sauce and cheese. Oh man, and shout out to Tony on here for his surf and turf on here. Because surf and turf pizza is just amazing.
All right, hang on now.
I think we have an audio somebody on audio joining us for Pizza Talk. Are you there, sir?
We're not doing Pizza Talk again. Well, we will. Not
Gary,
tonight.
Gary.
Everybody jumped in this week in Pizza Talk.
Oh man,
I love it. Everybody jumped in so fast. Well, that's not fair. Pickles and
Gary,
pineapple.
people are ready for
Everybody's
Pizza
jumping
Talk.
in. All right.
Just saying, sir.
We're going to talk about archive caching. Can we do that?
Let's do it, man.
Okay. So it's a fascinating topic that we kicked around this week and doing the group. But have you ever archive cached, John?
I have, and this is one where, I started doing it unintentionally. I don't know if your first entry into this was intentionally, Gary, or unintentionally, because my first entry was I was on a trail, and on this one, it was, I basically was like, hey, there's a cool culvert. There should be a geocache in there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And, I went down there. Sure enough, there wasn't one published on the map, but I went down there and there was a cache down there. And for me, I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. I never thought about like archived caches still being out there in the wild before that. But sure enough, and I'll admit it, I signed the log, I claimed the find, and then it was such a cool spot. I'm like, you know what? I'm putting a new cache here, so I cleaned up the game board of the old one and put my new one there, man. And
nice.
And long story short, Now the one I put down there is an archive cache that's there for somebody else to get.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, yeah, just saying, because it's kind of like the land use changed a little bit, and it's not open for hiking, but it's
Okay.
open for snowmobiling and some other winter activity.
Oh,
So on that one, if somebody was going by there, they could snag my archive cache. Just saying.
wow. That
Yeah,
is cool.
yeah,
It's interesting. It's interesting because I've never gone intentionally, I guess, archive hunting, but it's a great idea.
yeah.
But and this is something we talked about on an episode a while back. But what would it be like if you were able to find one of the ape cache containers
Oh my God.
still sitting out there? Wouldn't that be cool?
That that would be amazing. That would be amazing, if you could. I mean,
Yeah, there's the two spots that we talked about before, which was Georgia and California. There were two of the many of the ape caches that it just sounds like they were thrown into the woods and nobody really knows what happened to them.
yeah. Yeah, for both of those, right? Because I think those
So
are the ones that have the highest likelihood of like being actually still there, right? The California and Georgia
right,
one.
yeah. Well, the Georgia one really came to mind because when you read the last logs prior to it going gone, and you look at the location, it looks like that park. If let's say somebody did grab it,
Yeah,
if they didn't take it all the way out of the park, they could have just taken it back in the woods and like opened it up, messed with it, looked for loose change or whatever, and just dumped it. It would be fun to have like an event. You'd have to have a bunch of people,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
you would want, yeah, but you would want to, if you could potentially, if you could get 30 people at an event and then go, okay, the event's over. We are going to do something crazy. We're going to scatter through this park off the trails because you got to do it off trail because otherwise somebody would have seen it. So it's going to have to be off trail and carefully
Yeah.
go through this park area and try to hunt this thing down. Would it be amazing to find something like that? God, it'd be great.
Oh man, that would be amazing. And I just popped up on the screen share too. The Georgia one is you're talking about Mission 10A River Bearer. So that's
Yeah.
GC12AC on here. And yeah, from
Perfect.
looking through on here, it's just like, yeah, you can see the park, you can see the last note 2008. Yeah, Unimoggers. In fact, Unimoggers, who is part of our Geocache Talk community, said, "Are we sure it's gone?" December 4th, 2005. So almost
Uh-huh.
20 years ago on that one.
Yeah. It's exactly right. It could be out there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Matt Trier says he's game to look for it on that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I think Matt, I mean, how cool would it be to actually have like a geocaching event down there, and then there, I mean, get a bunch of folks together, take a look for it. I mean, like, shoot, if people need it, I mean, even do like metal detectors on there,
Exactly. Crazy.
Yeah. And of course, B Genius said, like I said, to the great ammo box in the sky, maybe,
Yep.
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, also the one in California, one of the ones in California, it was down this sort of trail, and again, what happened to it?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find out that one, because I think There was only one in California, right? And that was Mission One,
Oh,
Devil's Spoon.
maybe. Yeah, take a look for that one real quick. But that, I mean, really, has it gone that far off the real? I mean, did somebody like literally? And those are the large ammo cans, and I'm thinking, did they really drag that thing all the way out of there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm dubious that they dragged that thing a long way.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the map here, I mean, it looks like you're right. I mean, that was on a pretty good trail out there. It's probably quite a bit to actually bring that cache out there. But yeah, it looks like on that one, it's been missing since 2001.
Yeah. I just think it's still out there. I think the can's out. Yeah. The problem is, Quincy, that we're not talking small ammo cans. These are the large upright. Oh gosh, what are those, John? Do you remember?
Oh man, these are the massive ones.
There's a name for those, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember the caliber on these, but I mean, these are. Let me see if I can find a picture. But I mean, like, these are massive ones.
Yeah. While you're looking for that, I got one other thing I wanted to. You don't have to hunt these like famous caches. You could literally kind of look for. Just go through all the stuff that's been archived recently, and you'd be surprised. I bet you can find a lot of containers, either good containers that you could like reuse, or you might find some of the even trash containers where you could pick them up and get them out of there. Do some geotrash cleanup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see the comment from Tom, John?
Weren't they for some short range?
Short range.
For ordnance wise, I can't remember what container those ordnance were for specifications. I do believe they were just taking a look at some of the initial quick search results on here, 120 millimeter ammo cans. So I think they said, they actually, I don't know if that's correct, but I mean, they were some pretty sizable ones for sure. I can't remember, but yeah, definitely for some decent ordnance for sure. Yeah, Tom was being serious. Okay, maybe you're right, Tom. I'm not sure on that one. I mean, I've seen various ordnance size containers, but I can't remember what the specifications were for these. And what was originally in them. Yeah. I mean, these are massive, but yeah, I mean, I like the topic of archive caches because one of the things too, Gary, I just got to put out there because even for me, right, when I was first hiding caches, I actually, and I don't know how many people did this. If people have an experience doing this, I'd love to see the comments in the chat room. Did anybody else, when they were starting to hide caches, looked at archive caches to see where spots people hid caches in the past as maybe a potential of spaces to actually like hide one of their caches? I even went in and like tried to find some that actually had like decent favorite points that were hidden in the past and then archived, thinking like maybe if those were a good location, that could be a cool location for me to put some out there. I don't know. Have you ever thought about that, Gary, or have you ever done that?
Yeah, that's very, very, very true, because the spot may be good. It just had either the owner's gone or, no, that's a great idea. I mean, that's a valid way to go about it.
Yeah. And I think the flip side of that too is if you're looking for caches that have actually, you're seeing archive caches, but then you're seeing in the comment it was archived due to being muggled, and you're seeing that a lot, that's probably an indicator it's a bad area too.
True.
So, I think there's both sides of that coin. I mean, it could yield a really cool location where there used to be one, but there's no longer one, or it could like yield you to a spot where you're just like, yeah, there's been one there, or there's been many there in the past, but I wouldn't hide one there because of that type of activity.
Exactly. Yeah. So those are some areas that and that's a good thing to do also is if you're thinking about putting a cache out, do some research. There's a chance that maybe a cache has been there in the past, like you said, John, and that's just a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, Gary. I mean, question for you. How do you usually search for your archive caches when you're searching?
You mean so I've never really like deliberately searched for archives before. Now, but I want to do that someday. Is just to take the whole day and just go hunting for caches that have been archived. But I have done some, and I think we've all done this to an extent where uh, DNF hunting is sort of and I mean it's not the exact same thing, but DNF hunting is similar. So if people have never done that before, that's sort of the cousin to the archive hunting, which is the DNF hunting. And this is something that our group has done before, and I'm sure you have too as well, where this thing's had like 5 DNFs. You're like, oh, let's go take a look. Let's see what we find. I mean, it might still be there. People are just missing it. And so there was one that we did, fairly recently where it was and I've talked to it briefly, but you have to have some good cachers with you. Happened to be with Dawn again. It was kind of funny. We've been chasing jasmers a lot, and so we've been doing a lot of caching. But this was not a jasmer. It was just another puzzle. She likes puzzles, so we went to go grab this thing, and the cache was mentioned to be missing. Well, so I'm thinking, we kind of have the right area. We think we have the right final location. And so she starts digging in the dirt. She go get a stick and start digging, and sure enough, it was buried in the ground. So,
wow.
I think we use that as a joke kind of sometimes, like maybe it's just buried. But those can be fun. We've heard people who have gone to a location. They're like, I think I want to put a cache here, and it's really good. I think I'm going to put an ammo can out here because it can support one.
Yeah.
And then they go, but wait a minute, what is that in the ground right there? And they start looking at it. It's a buried ammo can, or half buried, and you're like, this is awesome. How did And so those can be such great fun to go hunt. Is these buried caches or
absolutely.
Another one that comes to mind is, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we got a couple good comments I want to highlight too. An active CO would probably yield a few still there. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you go to somebody on geocaching, a cache hider in the area, and look at their inactive hides or their hides out there, especially if they've been inactive, there's probably some still out there.
Right.
Especially if the reviewer archived it and it was not the cache owner. That could be a pretty good indicator on there. I do like what Bell's putting out here too, where he says he puts a needs maintenance caches on his watch list, and he's taking the spot if archived by a reviewer. Love that technique too. One thing, Gary, I'm going to share my screen too, because I don't know, have you ever used the map compare and Project GC to search for archive caches? Have you ever done that?
I haven't. I think didn't Jesse mention this too? I think
yeah. So I have my screen
ago,
up here.
I think he mentioned something about this.
Yeah, right now. So I mean, this is a pretty cool thing, and people actually want to check this out. Is if you go up to tools, you can do map compare, and on here, and I'll try to walk everybody through it. So if people are listening to audio, you have your compare profile name. So again, it's just tools map compare. You can put, another cacher if you want here too. You don't have to. Under the filter, you can put show found by neither player. Treat owned geocaches as finds. So then those don't show up. Location, in my instance, I'm going to put United States, New York, because I live in New York, and then the county where I live, Chautauqua County. And then in here for include disabled / archive, you can check include archived. And then when you go ahead and submit this, then what Project GC is going to do is it's going to bring up a map, right? And when you look at this map, you can see some icons, for active caches. Let me zoom in so it's a little better to view. Some actually show up that are still active, but then if you look through, you can see ones on here where it has like the line through it, showing that it's an archive cache. And then if you click on that one, you can then see the GC code, and then you can right click and you can actually bring up the cache in another tab. So like on this one, I brought up Little Trail in the Woods by, what is it? Melissa 3P. And then you can go down and you can see, on here, the history, just like you could elsewhere. But using this like map compare tool, like I was kind of mentioning earlier on here, it could maybe show you some cool spots, of ones that were hidden in the past. Where the county I live, I mean, you can see if I zoom out, like a ton of like archive caches in here, So, so that can kind of help too, because if you're kind of thinking like the area where I live, when I got involved, there was like some cachers that were getting out of the game, but there were some cachers that kind of got started even before that group. So, maybe some names I wouldn't be familiar with on that one. But, this is one way I recommend for going out there and then seeing those archive caches. So again, it's just tools, map compare, and Project GC, which if you've been caching for a while, definitely, get a subscription to Project GC, because there's just so many incredibly powerful tools in there, for people. But, as other people mentioned too, if there's an active cache owner, so their name, click on their names, look at, their caches. You can check their archive caches too, and you can find it out that way. But if there's any other techniques people have found, for finding archive caches or for identifying them and listing, put in the chat room, because I think we'd all like to know, what people have found out that works best for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's something that you could do it a couple different ways. Either you just get a group together and go archive hunting, or another idea is if there are either a few, or it didn't have to be many, but if there are a few that are close by to one area, like in a park, and 2 or 3 of them have gone DNF, make a CITO out of it. You're going to go clean up the park, and you're hunting for essentially it's geo trash. I mean, but obviously some of it can be reused potentially, hopefully.
Yeah.
But still, think of the fun and of all that. It's like, we found this container, Well, another one that comes to mind, and I think we've all probably experienced this, where you go to a fence or a sign or some kind of pole, or for lack of better, trying to come up with the right words for this, but where somebody's hung the container along the edge inside of it, like with a hook, like a piece of metal, and it's happened.
Yeah.
We've all seen it, where somebody comes along and they fumble it, and it goes down to the void of that metal fence post, and you're like, oh, well, it's gone. Oh well, I guess we'll have to put another one here. But or if you try to get out a flashlight, try to look down inside there, it's like, it's down in there. I know it.
Yeah. And I do like one, Gary. I gotta mention Bell on the Move. Mention this, so I want to bring up this comment and then kind of talk through it, because I mean this is valuable too. So Bell on the Move, and this is an excellent point. I'm so glad he brought it up. Just make sure it's a geocache and not an actual letterbox you are removing. So this is a great point, because geocaching.com is a listing service for geocaching, right? it is not the only listing service for geocaching. So, for example, given on here, there is, on here opencaching.us, which is another listing service for geocaches,
Yep.
but it's through open caching. So if you do find one and it doesn't have a GC code on, doesn't have names that you're familiar with, maybe it could be an open caching, one. Maybe, it could be through Atlas Quest, a letterbox as well too. That if people look through there, or there's also letterboxing.org as well. So I just want to again just emphasize on Bell and the Moose Point, which is an excellent one. Just because you think it's a geocache, and again, if there's no GC code on it, if there's no cachers on that, it could be under one of those other listing services. So be careful if you remove one of those in that instance too.
Yeah. Buzz82 had a good point too. It just occurred to me when archive a cache, I should state in my archive log that the container has been removed. That's a great point.
Yes. Yeah, because there are some.
Or the container. I was going to say real quick. Or to Buzz82's point, though, is you might say, I archived it. I went and searched, and I couldn't find the container that I had put out there. So
yes, maybe
somebody else could come along and help as well. So I mean, there's a couple possibilities there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, isn't that the truth? Because I don't know if you've ever like DNF'd your own cache trying to do cache maintenance, where it's like somebody's like moved it, somebody else has moved it, and after all those people have moved it or hidden it better, and I'm doing hidden it better in quotes for our audio listeners.
Right.
Maybe the first person moved it like 2 or 3 feet, the next person moved it 2 or 3 feet. So, eventually, I mean, like that cache container that was at ground zero is now, who knows, 20 to 30 feet away or even more, So, I mean, instances like that certainly do happen at times.
That's a great point. Yeah, no, absolutely. There are some different, like I said, different possibilities. You kind of want to try, though, again, it's good to clean up the game board. So, I mean, if there's an opportunity, one thing, I don't know if you've done this, John, but something that I've done a few times, which is you go to look and you're like, oh, there's an LP, here's a lamppost. I don't see a cache near here. I'll lift it up and see what's under it. Just see if there's and I've done one like that before where you lift it up and there's a container under there. So you start to read about it and you're like, oh, well, there was a cache here at one time.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know about you, Gary. In those instances, usually what I do is I will take a look and see who signed the log previously, and then see whose profile is open on that one. So, for instance, like if I saw your name on their G-Slink, I would search for G-Slink as a geocaching user, and then see if I could then see in your previous finds that container, because I mean, then that's a way, I mean, you could see, is it like from an existing multi, maybe, is it from like a puzzle, is it still out there for some reason,
Yeah, this one happened to be, and Tom, because point out, could be an active puzzle.
Yeah,
the one that I had found, I was gonna say real quick, is the one that I found, I did the research on it. It turned out it was just an archived traditional.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't, but yes, there's a good possibility, and I know Tom could tell you about how, and other veterans can tell you that you can sometimes kind of reverse engineer a puzzle where you're like, it's not here. It's not here. It's like there's almost a gap. There's a gap in this area, and you're like, I wonder why there's a gap here. Sure enough, it's probably might be there's a puzzle.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Now,
I think we've all done that at least once before,
yeah. So and then today, talking to some of our folks, and we were coming back from Pikes Peak, and Dawn mentioned that she had found she's a loophole. She loves the loopholes. So she was at a person's house, a cacher's house, and they had put some of their previous caches up on their shelf because I think they were going to reuse them. Well, her point was is that she took one off the shelf and goes, "I can log this, right?" I mean,
Well,
it's not.
if
It is archived, but it's not locked.
Yeah, and I got to ask you, have you ever logged an archive cache before? I know I have. When
I have.
when I found one out in the wild and I knew what cache it was, I looked it up and I'm like, if I found it, I can log it, so
Yeah,
why
exactly.
not?
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, as long as it's not locked, I think it's, I'm sure the cache owner could delete it if they wanted to, but in this case, it was, they just like, go ahead, log it, good grief, but it's funny, that's not quite what we're talking about tonight.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
And Tom said he logged
But,
FTF on the one he found. So yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good for you, Tom.
Happy Hodag says he's done that quite a few times himself,
Right. Do you want to go through the starred ones real quick, John?
Yeah, let's go through there. So coming back to Tom's comment, he said he got FTF on a cache had been archived because the coordinates were off like 60 miles off. So I mean,
crazy.
I know, but yeah, I mean, cool for Tom to get the FTF in that instance for sure. And yeah, we got to give a shout out to Jesse. He's still traveling, and we mentioned the storm earlier, and he says that they were in that storm all day long in Capitals on that one. So it was probably a long day for them. So man, Jesse, looking forward to hearing when you got home safe and sound, my friend, on that one. Hope everybody else is staying safe and sound through the storm as well too. Gary Burnt Turtles asked, how's the elevation treating you? I don't know if you ever answered that in full, but how are you doing with the elevation so far?
Yeah. So no, good question. I am really good at elevation. In being a flatlander, that's sort of a shock, I think, to people. But our little group had some canned air, and I sent a picture of that to John. You can buy canned air. Yes, it is a thing, and it is canned oxygen. So it's really good to have oxygen with you when you're doing some of these long hikes, and especially if you go to at the top of a 14er.
Yes,
you kind of need to be ready for something like that because your body is not prepared for that little. There's a lot less oxygen at 14,000 feet. I guarantee you. So I did pretty well. No, I'm not fast by any stretch of the imagination. I am getting better, lost weight, and I am walking better or walking further and everything. But I don't know. I think if I was to do a race with somebody who's better fit than me, I think I would challenge them to a race at like 14,000 feet because I think I have a little bit of the advantage. I don't know why, but I don't need the canned air. I used it, but I still didn't need it as much as some of our other team members. Lori says, Pikes Peak elevation kicked my butt so bad. I wish I knew about canned oxygen when I did it. I was walking like a drunk person. There were a lot of drunk, quote, drunk, unquote, people walking around the visitor center there at Pikes Peak. So go to Walmart or wherever you want to get it, and
Oh, and hydrate. I was at Pikes Peak last, I think about 15 years ago. I took the cog railway up and down. Didn't bother me on the way up, but on the way
Right.
down, for some reason, that's when it bothered me. But yeah, a lot of people, they say, make sure you get properly hydrated. Hydrate once you get there.
Yes.
But certainly, yeah, altitude sickness is something to be careful of for sure. So yeah, good idea to get that oxygen. Yeah, and we have a very, very interesting question here too, Gary, that starred, what kind of pizza does a Swedish chef eat? And I think M Wolf is referring to my puzzle on this one, the Swedish chef.
Oh,
So I will drop the GC code to this puzzle in the chat. It's a unique puzzle. I don't believe I've seen anyone else do a puzzle like this one before. And congratulations to M Wolf if M Wolf did solve this one recently. And yeah, I'm gonna drop the GC in the chat right now for folks if they want to, see the Swedish chef on here. But the Swedish chef would probably have like Swedish meatballs on the pizza, I'm guessing, but probably consider strongly pickled pizza too. But the GC code is GC9A6AR on that one. So
wow.
yeah, so check it out if you want to. And then Buzz82 says he archived 9 this week, picked up all but one. So there is still a lost one out there.
Not bad though.
Yeah. So I think, Buzz, is what you're saying is on that one, it seems like you're challenging people if they want to find one of yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, an update from Jesse. He says they're an hour out now. Thank goodness. So yeah, let us know when you get home, Jesse.
Yeah, let us know. That's the good stuff. And thank you, John. We made this work tonight, even though it was a little bit wonky. Some hotels are better than others as far as their Wi-Fi. This one, sorry, but
hey, man, we made it work, Gary, and good times for sure.
Yeah. So I'm still chasing triple Jasmer, working on that. Doing what I can to get working on triple. So who knows? I may be coming to a hopefully better hotel in your area soon. And I'm still chasing also Cache Odyssey. I know you are too. Cool. I'm up to, I think, 21.
Oh man,
I'd have to go look.
Go you, Gary.
Yeah,
you're rocking it, man.
Thank you
for sure.
Yeah, I've run into ran into a lot of folks that are just thrilled. I talked to one guy, John, and I'll use this as my my wrap up for tonight, and that is that they wanted to, and they, and I love everybody who stopped me at CoinFest and talked, and it was great. But this one gentleman stopped me and wanted to tell me, he goes, I have only found one so far.
Okay.
But he wanted to compliment us and shared with me that the project, Cache Odyssey project, meant so much to him that we took the time to do something specifically for handy-capable people who have to get them some really cool caches in the area. And so in every state. So I was very thrilled to have him, and I was very honored to talk to him. And I wanted to pass that on to you, John, and also to Jesse, that we have a lot of people who, they haven't found a lot of them yet, but they are such fans of the concept of Cache Odyssey.
That is so cool, and I appreciate that, and it just resonates with me so much because, when I went through surgery and I was having a hard time getting around, it's when you're trying to find a cache and it's true terrain one and you can do it and you can just get out even for one and have blast doing that. I mean, how meaningful and how impactful that is for somebody. Because on the flip side of that coin, right? Absolutely. If you get one that lists as terrain one, has favorite points, and then you go out and do it, and then you find out it isn't true terrain one, it isn't truly accessible.
Yeah.
That sucks. That really sucks. That happened to me one time where I was like, man, I was so excited. Favorite points on this cache went out. And I was like, yeah, this is not truly terrain one. I can't do it. So what a bummer on that one for sure. But that is awesome feedback to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do we got coming up?
Yeah, so we got some great shows coming up. I mean, speaking of Jasmine on here, so we got Challenge Talk on this Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Kitty Catch is going to be on. Kitty Catch from Australia. So it's Kitty Catch's Quad Jasmine quest on that one.
Woo!
So you don't want to miss that one. That one is going to be like absolutely awesome. I know so many people are so excited about that. And I mean, talk about a lifetime achievement. So big shout out to Kitty Catch on that one. Then, the week after that one, October 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we got a new gadget talk coming up. Second-hand inspired gadget caches. So think about, going to either like a garage sale, a store like a Salvation Army or something, finding some cool items in there, and then building out a gadget cache from one of those. So we're going to talk about with people who talk with people and ourselves as well too, some projects that people have benefited from finding those cool secondhand items out there. And oh man, Amateur Gadget Cache is gluing right now. Awesome. Can't wait to see what you're doing and talking about your build, on there, because I know that one's going to be epic as well. And then Charles and Tom, we know they had a show actually just the other week, but they got their November show lined up. So November, they're doing train puzzles on this one. So, this is pretty awesome. I love trains, and I can't wait to hear what Charles and Tom come up with for train puzzles, because I know every time they do a puzzle talk show, I'm walking away with some cool inspiration from puzzles that they've done. And, it's just things that I've never seen before. So big shout out to Charles and Tom for finding a lot of really cool things to share with the puzzle community for sure. And for audio listeners, you're going to have to wait and see the graphic or check it out. But I just got to say, there's a train that looks pretty much just like Tom on here.
Well, the Charles one looks good too. So
yeah,
I jump back on the audio or the visual part of the show briefly as we're wrapping up. Love the train picture.
Yeah, we have fun. And sometimes the thing too, which people don't see, I know we revealed like a few in our patron group. For every YouTube thumbnail you see, there's probably like almost like a half dozen that did not, come out. So we always have a lot of fun with those for sure. So yeah, thank you.
Tom says Charles has a lot of free time now, so he better have some good pro puzzles. So that's funny.
Yeah, awesome.
Good stuff. Well, John, this was great.
Yeah, this was a
I'm
blast,
hoping
Gary.
we can get some stories as time goes on. Yeah, definitely. And if you find an archived cache, please send us an email at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Tell us the story about what happened, and it might show up in our news at some point, right? Right, John?
Absolutely. We'd love to hear those, for sure.
And then the last thing I do want to mention tonight, which is that we are still have coins available for Podcast to Hope. We're wanting to make sure and get those into people's hands, securely into their hands, so they can give a donation to St. Jude. But also you get a nice commemorative coin. So check those out. Go to the store and check out what's available out there for that. So trying to find real quick the store. Well, if you go to the website, go to geocachetalk.com, you can find the store right there. So all right. Well, thanks, everybody, and see you on the next show.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.